10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Good luck, studio.
And now, another really exciting episode of the Shy Life Podcast.
Oh, it's the Shy Life Podcast.
All I wanted was a pie, and then I hatched out of an egg.
Okay, bring the mic over. He's ready to record.
It's the quiet ones you've got to watch, you know.
Is it metaphorical? Is it deep? Is it deep?
Good boy. He's not all that shy, is right.
Blimey, Governor, it's the Shy Life Podcast.
Excellent.
583.
583.
Bonjour et bienvenue au podcast The Shy Life.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Shy Life Podcast with me, Paul the Shy Yeti. How you doing? I'm alright. I'm feeling kind of spooky. Well, that's not entirely true. Oh dear. This is our official Halloween episode, and I don't know, I'm having a bit of trouble coming up with something. But I'm sure if we run the theme music when we come back, I'll be suitably scary, and yeah, okay, run that theme music.
Darling, it's the Shy Life Podcast.
Get those positive things, Paul. The highlight, the Shy Life.
You won't find a cast of characters like this everywhere.
Hello, Paul.
I'll go anywhere for a potato.
Delicious.
Hello, captors. How are you?
You quite like a big bang, don't you, Paul?
Go Shy Yeti.
Oh, I hope he hasn't found out my secret. Do you think he has?
If you thought that was bad, just listen to this.
Oh, I can't wait for it to begin.
It's the Shy Life Podcast.
I like that. Yeah, I'm strangely drawn to Yeti Uncle John's ankles as well.
Has the Shy Life Podcast slowed down? I don't think so.
It's all gooey and meaty and yum.
Has anyone seen my hot sausage? Hi listeners, back again. I'm sorry. This is the trouble. I don't know, this must be our 7th Halloween episode, you know, and it's not always easy finding the content, you know. As much as I like Halloween, sometimes you just run out of ideas. You don't want to go repeating yourself. I'm sure there's ways around it. Well, Paul, I do have an idea for you. You have an idea for me, Cromitty? Yes, Paul, a good idea. Okay, what's your idea? I think you should talk to Toppy Smelly. He must have done tens of Halloween episodes over the years. That's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. Yeah, listeners, I think Cromitty's come up with a solution. Well, kind of. Yeah, I think I should talk to Toppy. Yes, talk to him. Oh dear, the episode's hardly begun, but yes, I'll do that. Where's Yeti Uncle John? Oh, he's doing something in the other room. It's fine. You'll be fine. Yeah, okay, I'll talk to Toppy. I'll go and see how Yeti Uncle John is. Sure. Right, where's Toppy's number? I should know off by heart by now. Toppy, there you are. Oh,
Yeah.
oh dear.
What's going on? You told me to rush over, and it got me over here real fast. Is something wrong? What's going on?
No, it's nothing. It's just we've hit that certain time of year. I think.
What do you mean, certain time of year?
The H word. Halloween.
Oh, Halloween. Yeah, isn't it great? Oh, it's my favorite time of year, Paul.
I do love it, but I just wanted to brainstorm a bit with you, and I'm aware you probably have to do your own Halloween episode, and obviously I've been doing the show not as long as you, but I've been doing it for over 6 years now, and I've done quite a few Halloween specials.
Yeah,
and I'm running dry.
Really?
We've done spooky houses. We've done ghosts being on the show. We've done.
Well, Paul, I'm surprised at you because normally you would have had your Halloween episode done in the spring and all ready to go. What happened?
Well, it's been one of those years, and I haven't been traveling as much, and I don't know. There's been a lot going on. Of course, we recently had that big garden party for August, and that was quite concerning. I mean, that was a horror. Had that come a few weeks later, that would have been our Halloween episode.
That could have been, yeah.
But so there has been, with the whole yoga vampires on the scene. I feel like we've been horroring all year, and now we've come to the part of the year. There's no vampires around.
Yeah, so. we can't be horroring around. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but Paul, Halloween's almost here. What are you going to do now?
Well, I thought maybe through talking with you, it would give me some ideas. One of the things that I am hoping to do, as long as I think is we have rail strikes in the country at the moment.
Oh, I've heard about it. Yeah,
which makes it difficult to get around. I've got enough problems with walking about as it is. I just hope that.
No, Paul, I got the idea. I got an idea. Okay, this is going to be great. All right, here's what you do. Since you're there, take advantage of the fact that you're home. Now, what I want you to do is fix up your house to be a haunted house. Like when I was a kid, I loved making haunted houses. And you can do all kinds of things. Like you can tie a Kleenex tissue to a little thread and make a little head. And then you can loop the thread over a lamp and then make it go across the room. And you can be clear across the room, Paul. And you can secretly be pulling on the thread. And that little ghost, you go woo and raise up. It'll scare people. And then you can paint Dealey black. And then you can do all kinds of things like that. Well, let me tell you. Oh, you can there's so many ways to do a haunted house. What do you think about that? Oh, I think that's what you should do.
I mean, the trouble is I live in a house where I'm the kind of the junior member, or I have the least authority, because I'm just not sure that Toby would be very happy.
Oh, but it's Halloween. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Give him a job to do or send him out for... No, get him involved and he'll probably like the idea. He could do...
Dealey? I can't make Dealey cross. My life wouldn't be worth living. He would give me that look.
Well, okay, so don't paint him black. But there's so many other things you could do, Paul. Yeah. I mean, things with lights and spooky, you get a strobe light, right? Uh-huh. Have that going, bwunk, 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 bwunk. And it'll be spooky,
But does that work on a podcast?
Oh, okay. So, you can just say, oh, there's a strobe light over there going blah, blah, blah. And then, then you can say, oh, the fog's coming. You can get one of those fog machines. Then you see what you do is you buy this thing called fog juice. And you put in this thingamajig and it makes fog. It's really creepy. It looks just like you're on a set of dark shadows. Oh. So you can do,
Well, it's just... I have done one thing, and it's just the whole train strike, not being able to walk very well thing. If that could spoil this plan, I have actually hired. Well, I've got there's a spooky house down in Kent, which is outside of London.
Well, how are you going to get there?
Well, I can get there by train if the trains are good. This is the only thing. The possibility of recording in a spooky house. It's the same spooky house I've recorded in before.
Well, you've done that before, Paul. And listen, the idea I have for you don't have to worry about the trains. You do it right there in your home, and it'll be a smash hit.
Well, I suppose so. Do you think I should read a scary poem? Or
Well, of course, anything spooky fits. You know, you could put a spider costume on Dealey and have him have like 8 legs, and you could tie a rope to him and have him come down from the ceiling. Huh?
No, not from the sea. No, but maybe he can have a web or something.
Okay.
I don't think he's 18. You know, I don't know.
All right, never mind then. Forget about Dealey.
No,
but
it's a good idea. It's a good idea. He could certainly do. I could certainly record him making lots of. He does a lot of caterwauling at like 4 a.m. in the morning. I could set up a recording.
That's right.
Record
Yeah.
that. So that would be.
Yeah, if you wanted to do the whole sound thing, get on Amazon right now and buy like that 4-inch thick chain, a length of chain, and then you shake it, and you get ghostly chains in the background, and you could just be like rattling the chains in your hand, and you could go like, oh, where are those chains? Oh, noise! Oh, it's like a spooky chain noise. They could do that.
As long as I don't have post-traumatic stress, going back to that time that Damius locked me up in the cellar.
Oh,
for him, that was bad.
Okay,
but I'm
skip
sure
skip the chain thing.
No, it's a good idea.
Yeah,
it's a good idea. What sort of food would you suggest?
Well, that's easy, Paul. What you do is you boil some spaghetti, and then you let it get cold, and then you put it in a box, and you say, ew, stick your hand in the box because there's my intestines in there. Well, how about that?
That would be good.
And then they could eat the spaghetti.
What about spaghetti with meatballs, but the meatballs could have little eyes somehow?
Yeah. Like you slice some green olives, and then you push it into the meatball.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like eyeballs. You can say, oh, look, I'm eating eyeballs. Blah, blah, blah. And people are like, oh, God, no, don't eat the eyeball. And you could like really spook them out.
I always liked doing seances. I've done them a few times on the show, but they've generally not ended up so well. So I think I'll probably have to skip the seance.
No, don't skip the seance. I can tell you how to make tables rise. It's an old magic trick. You could get Uncle John involved because he's good at magic. And listen, all you'd have to do is like you have long sleeves, and in your sleeve you have a long ruler, just one of those wooden rulers, and you keep it hidden, right? But then when you put your hands on the table, you like secretly, when no one's watching, pull out the ruler so that it's underneath the table. And if Yeti Uncle John's on the other side, and then you can both like, oh God, the table's rising. Oh God, there's spooks in here. How about that?
Well, I'm not against the idea, but all I'm saying is that
that was a great idea. What's the matter with you?
It's a great idea, but if you remember back, it's not so much a case of, I don't want to say pulling the wool over people's eyes, but the thing is, like when Yeti Uncle John did magic, he actually conjured up a real life demon. It's not so much a case
of going to do that again, Paul. That's a one-time thing.
The trouble is this with the Shy Life podcast, as you know, we're not short of real spooks and ghosts and creeps and ghouls.
No,
we don't have to pretend anything. They're all there if we want them. It's just
listen. I'm sorry, but bookshelf imps are not scary, Paul. They're not.
If you work with them, they're relatively scary. Well, it's been useful. You've definitely given me some ideas.
Well, I hope so. My God, I'm exhausted now.
I just hope that you don't have as much problems as I do with your Halloween episode. I'm sure you've got something nice.
Well, listen, don't forget that you and Bettina and Ick are going to zip over to Pickle Hollow in the spaceship because, speaking of haunted houses, someone's built a really great attraction. I haven't been there yet, but I think you and you guys will like it. I'll bring Aunt Tappy and Sassy along, and it'll be a great scare fest.
Well, at least if my Halloween episode's no good, I'll be associated with a much more exciting one with you. So, it won't be all bad. So.
Oh man. Man, you are just not in the Halloween spirit this year, Paul. Oh God, what do you get? You've got to get into the Halloween spirit, Paul. It's really close to Halloween, and you don't have much time.
I'll get some gin and some vodka. Those are two of my favorite spirits.
No, that's not that kind of spirits. Oh God.
Well, I'll do my best. I'll try and G myself up. It's just been a long year, and we've still got 2 months to go till Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh well, we're not doing Christmas this year. I'll explain to you when I see you next time.
Thank God.
I might need your help because we've got an alternative to Christmas.
Yeah. We must stop Christmas from coming, Paul. But how?
Yeah. Well, I'll speak to you in a few weeks' time, and I'll tell you what we're doing here, and you may have some ideas. But anyway, thank you for your help today.
Well,
stick around.
Okay. All right.
It's got a buffet set up, I believe.
Okay. Like, how long is this episode going to be? Because I'm hungry, and maybe while you do some other things, I can get myself a snack.
No, it's fine. I think you should leave me to it now. You mustn't give away all your secrets because you need to keep some for yourself. But it'd be very useful having this brainstorming session.
Oh, so I should leave?
I just don't like the idea of you coming all this way and going straight back. I think you should have lunch before you go.
Okay, I do too. So do you mind if I go into your pantry?
No.
Because I'm going to see what you have. You probably have cookies. Or no, you call them biscuits. Anyways, I'll find something.
And Ike's always got lovely food on his ship, alternatively.
No. That's quite all right. Do you guys eat peanut butter over here in the UK?
We might have a jar left over. I think.
What do you mean might?
Well, Toby likes it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Listen, I'm so hungry. I'll just eat Dealey's cat food, okay?
Oh, dear. All right. Okay. Well, all right. Listeners, we're going to get on with our Halloween special, and thanks, Toppy.
The Halloween specials right now. Okay. I get it. I get what we're doing. Okay.
Let's play some music when we come back. We'll be doing something else.
Spooky. Yeah, play some spooky music. Oh. Woo, 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 woo.
Uncle John, what are you doing? Well, I'm setting up a seance. Setting up a seance? What, because it's Halloween? Is it Halloween? Oh, yes, so it is. No, I keep getting phone calls from Charlie Gurr. Oh, yes. They're meant for Paul, but he somehow diverted any calls from him to me if it's Charlie Gurr. Well, what's Charlie saying? I'll have a recording of one of the messages. Do you want to have a listen? Yes, go on. Here we go. Press play. Oh, there we go. Hello, it's me, Charlie Gurr. I don't know who this message is going to, but I need to emphasize that you must get in touch with the other dimension. They've been calling me for the last year, and you have not responded to them. They are furious. I don't know what will happen if you don't. Maybe this dimension will be sucked into the other one, and all my lovely pies will be destroyed. You need to sort this out. Paul, whoever it is, just sort it out. Or I shall be furious and do growls and stomp my foot. Yes, just do something. Oh, blimey, he does sound cross. He does, doesn't he? He sounds very cross. No one wants to get Charlie cross. It's fair enough. Paul's been, ignoring this whole business with the other dimension, like, pretty much throughout the whole year. Oh, yes, since the pie seance. Yes. So, I've got myself a Fray Bentos pie, and I'm going to do a seance. I'm going to try and contact the other dimension. And tell them what? Tell them to bugger off. Oh, Yeti, Uncle John. You can't do that. Oh, Paul doesn't want to travel to the other dimension. And we don't want Charlie bothered, because he just bothers me. Oh, it's it's dangerous. Paul can't go to the other dimension. He's got mobility issues these days. He can't go doing stuff like that. Yes, well, I know what you mean, Yeti Uncle John. Also, they said he had to come by himself, and even when he was considering it, he said he wouldn't be able to go by himself. He'd have to go with somebody. Yes, that's right. But he can't. So, even if it's just postponing it for a time, it's like, a sick note from games at school. Oh, but Yeti Uncle John, do you know how to do a seance? Yes, this pie. I'll just turn the lights out, put some candles. Maybe, I don't know, just mutter something. Oh, dear. Well, I think I should talk to Paul about this first. Oh, you can't bother, Paul. I'll just get on with it. Oh, dear. Yeti Uncle John, you remember when you did magic and you conjured up a demon? Oh, yes, that was fun, wasn't it? No. Oh, dear. Oh, Paul, I must speak to Paul. Oh, don't bother him. Oh, dear. Now, where do I start? Well, listeners, I think Toppy has given me some good ideas. Yeah. I have, as luck will have it, I've managed to contact a few people. I've got a few guests lined up, we'll see how we go. Yeah. Actually, next up, I have a little chat. It's about a horror film. Yeah, a horror film called The Phantom of Death from 1988. It's an Italian horror film. I recently watched it with Nick and our friend Joe. And, it's got Donald Pleasence in and Michael York. And Michael York, he starts off looking all quite young and handsome, and oh dear, something starts to go wrong, and he gets increasingly violent. And Donald Pleasence wants to find out who's doing these violent things. He doesn't realise it's Michael York. Have a listen and see what we thought of it.
Hello, listeners. We've just been watching a film called Phantom of Death from 1988. It's got Michael York in and Donald Pleasence and also Edwidge Fenwick, who's known for many appearances in giallos in the early 70s. I guess it is sort of Phantom of the Opera-ish. Nick, what did you think?
I actually think the title undersells it a little bit, because it was actually quite an interesting sort of tragic story and a different spin on the usual serial killer yarn. And dear old Michael York, bless his heart, enduring lots of makeup. I won't say too much spoilers, but I enjoyed it. It was it held my attention throughout, and nice to see old Donald Pleasence as well.
It's an Italian film, listeners. I partly chose it because Michael York was the model for a character that Nick and Joe wrote years ago.
Yeah, Cabin Release. We both extensively worked with him, didn't we? And back in the 70s, I suppose because of Jesus and Nazareth, Logan's Run, things like that, the memorable parts that Michael York played, I suppose I was looking for a sort of model. But I mean, that was very much in the 70s. But Alan Hayes, who did the books for, published some books about the series, used Michael York as a model. Well, the bits of Michael York, I think, but the eyes were one of his friends, and so he did a bit of a Frankenstein job of Michael York to actually for the cover. So it's not pure Michael York. So we didn't get. But yes, so it was interesting.
I'd forgotten that there were a few scenes in Venice, which is always good as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, yes. I mean, Don't Look Now, It Ain't, but it was enjoyable.
I don't think I was that keen on it the first. This is about the third time I've seen it, and each time I watch it, I enjoy it more. But Joe, what did you think of Phantom of Death?
Yeah, I have a copy of it myself, and yeah, I've seen it a few times. It does grow on you. It's just, yeah, I mean, it's probably the script jumps about all over the place, and its main problem is it's a little bit unfocused. It could, you just feel it should be a little bit tighter. It'd been nice if it all been set in Venice, actually.
Yeah.
A sort of sense of claustrophobia, which is it's sort of like it lacks. It's just not focused.
Donald Pleasence gets to swear in one scene a lot. He gets very cross. He goes like, you.
I somehow suspect that perhaps most of the people who have filmed in long shot didn't even know they were being filmed, because it just like some people are totally taken by surprise by this bloke coming out swearing his head off.
We have a second film to watch, which has also got Donald Pleasence in. But also, before we go, I should ask, although Ali's eating cheese, I should ask...
I thought it was very good.
Cheese you were prepared to throw in the bin yesterday.
Well, yeah, but I don't like waif now.
I don't like waste.
What did you think of the makeup on Phantom of Death? Because they aged him up quite well, didn't they?
Yeah, but unfortunately, as I was just showing people, that's how he looks now. For the viewers, I'm sort of showing...
He looks older than he does with aging makeup
exactly
in the film.
Because
he looks fairly unrecognisable. He looks...
He's got a very rare blood disorder, which is basically eating him from the inside out.
Dear.
And
it's rotten on the inside.
Quite the film.
Film's coming true. Horrible.
I mean, there are some pictures where you can still see that it's Michael York, but give him his due. He's still got his voice, which sounded like James Mason in the film, but he's still got his voice. And he's still working as a voice artist. So, and I must admit, in that film, he is really rather good.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on to the second film. It's quite different from that one.
So that I'm gonna.
Which is a good thing, really. You'd be rather disappointed if it was exactly the same film. It's got a different title. I'm going to show you a different print of it. It's got. I like it so much. We're watching it twice with a different print.
For old time's sake.
Just with some of the scenes put back in.
Yeah.
A 20-minute swearing scene. Oh, there was also that scene where he goes, ooh.
Yeah.
It's not really fine. He's like he thinks he's Frankie Howard or something.
Yeah, true Frankie Howard.
Oh dear. Hello, listeners. Today on the Shallow podcast, we bring you a live and exciting conversation with a leading supernatural expert, Dr. Harold. Dr. Harold.
What am I an expert in today? Sorry,
supernatural.
In supernatural today.
Yeah.
Okay.
In supernatural. We're at a very spooky place, Sibden Park, in Kent, and it's well known for its spookiness.
Is it?
That's the technical term, actually.
That sort of thing, that sort of stuff really frightens me, to be honest.
Well, but you're an expert in this.
Well, yes, I am today. Yeah, but yeah, it's quite kind of conflicted, really, to be honest.
Yeah, it's quite admirable that you've invested a lot of your long life into an area of science that petrifies you.
Well, it was just been the last few hours, actually. But yes, it's certainly, well, it's all around us, isn't it?
It's all around us.
Because there's nature, but then there's supranature,
above
nature.
Yes, yeah.
and therefore it is all around us, or sort of on top.
So are you saying
alongside nature?
Are you saying ghosts are part of nature, or are they like somewhere caught between super and nature?
Well, I would imagine that would be the case. Yes.
And are you getting a lot of vibes just walking around the grounds today?
Yes, I had, I don't know, I had a slight, when I was walking around, I did have a slight tremor in my right knee as I was walking.
Yeah, but you had that on the train up, didn't you? Isn't that just your rheumatism?
Oh, no, you're quite right. No, you're absolutely right. Yes. So apart from the tremble in the knee, not so much. Although, funny enough, I don't know if you can hear it, or maybe I have to stop talking, but you can suddenly hear this sort of like a rustling sound.
So that's just me. I'm just sticking my hand in the bush for no good reason.
Could you stop doing that?
Sorry. I could hear a strange grumbling, groaning noise.
But that was my stomach.
Yes, I'm sorry about...
no, well, I'm sorry
about breakfast.
I had Gaviscon. So...
yeah. Well, you know, these sorts of things are all part and part of being a supernaturalist.
Because although you might say, oh, well, the tremble in my knee, well, that was rheumatism, or the sound, so that was my stomach.
I think I know where you're going with this.
Yes. It's a
message.
Exactly, a message from beyond,
from the dead,
communicating through the rheumatism.
Gosh.
Or communicating through your guts.
What are they saying? What are the messages?
Well, sometimes they're sort of saying to have a seat because you're. I mean, it's.
They're very caring, aren't they, ghosts?
Very caring, or have a Gaviscon if it's the stomach. So that's what they're probably communicating.
Yes.
So they're very, very caring. Obviously, you don't know completely what the message could be.
No.
It could be more detailed.
It could be.
But it giving you the strong sense, you need to sit down, or you need to have a Gaviscon.
So you're generally getting a feel of the ghosts here are quite helpful and friendly. They're not like, "Oh, I'm going to eat you" type ghosts.
No. Obviously, it does depend where you happen to end up.
And there's there's plenty of places. We can't go into every room in the house.
No. And if you go to certain, parts of the country, then you will have. These more nasty sort of apparitions.
Which I'm sure you've encountered in your long and winding career.
Well, yes, particularly actually where I live in Bermondsey, overnight you see lots of pale figures sort of staggering around, and you just want to run away because you don't want to you don't want to get into any sort of difficulties with these.
I've seen quite a lot of spirits in your drinks cabinet, Doctor.
Yes.
Listeners, that's a supernaturalist's joke.
That's
you probably won't
good.
get it.
Very
sorry.
good. Very good. No.
Not heard that one before.
No, it's very good. Very good.
Very good.
Yeah.
So what got you into the ghosties in the first place?
Well, I think it was. I think yesterday you'd mentioned that you wanted to do this chat, so I did have a little look at something on the internet, Wikipedia actually, just before we started talking just a few moments ago. So yes, but it's very, very interesting. There's a lot of literature out there. Yes. I mean, I could see that you could do a lot of research. You could devote some of your life to that, doing that sort of thing.
Yeah, and are you going to your next book? Isn't that going to be about the ghosts and ghouls of Ghost in Ghoul?
Ghost in the Ghoulies.
Yes.
Yes, that is my next book, and that, once again, that is looking at the messages that are being sent to us through our different body parts. It might be the stomach, but it might also be your ghoulies.
The ghoulies, yeah.
Yeah, and often I do get a lot of sensations there.
And in your long and brief career, what is the most exciting ghost you've encountered?
The most exciting ghost would probably...
It's difficult to think back to.
No, it's actually pretty... It's the most intriguing ghost was Liberace.
Okay.
Seeing apparition of Liberace. And
was he tinkling at the time?
He was tinkling all over the place. I had to ask him to stop, and then he went to the piano, of course, and then was doing some most amazing music.
Oh, wow.
I mean, the way those hands moved over the keys, it was incredible. He's still got it.
He's still got it.
He's still got it. Still so full of life. And the music is, and I was very, very impressed. Notwithstanding that, obviously, I'd had about 5 LSDs before,
of course,
and that did mean that it was difficult to focus, to be honest. But he was gracious as ever because he let Alvis come on after.
Oh, great! Anyway, if you were going to recommend this career to somebody just starting out, with your long and brief career in this career. What would you say to anyone just starting out?
Well, Wikipedia, I think. Google is also a very, very good source of information. So when you started talking about it, I didn't really have a clue, to be honest.
I believe there's a journal, I'm trying to think of the name, of a detailed scientific journal.
Yes.
I think it's... is it the Daily Mail? I think...
is the National Enquirer still going? National Enquirer is wonderful for these sorts of things. Yeah. And it not only covers ghosts, but also, extraterrestrials. Yeah. And if you wanted me to do that, because I'm an expert on that also.
Oh, are you? You know about...
Yes. Well, no, I can't, but I can be.
Oh, you can be, yeah.
If you give me a heads up.
I will.
If you want me to.
Yeah.
Yes. Lovely.
Well, whilst we're here, what Dr. Have you seen any aliens recently?
No, I haven't seen any aliens today. But I mean, I did hear I told you about that very odd sort of sound early this morning, and that could easily have been their aircraft taking off or landing, or taking off and landing, or landing and taking off.
Yeah. Is that the?
That's what they normally do.
Is that the? Oh, baby noise?
I beg your pardon?
The noise you heard.
It was sort of like no.
You didn't hear that noise. That was another noise you heard.
I did hear that noise. Oh, but I just didn't think it was that.
No, I don't know what that was.
No, it was sort of like a blanket being sort of flapped out, if you know what I mean, and then. Flapped, like a flapping out noise, and then you immediately sort of thinking, you sort of immediately think maybe flying saucers, don't you, or something like that.
Wow, this place really is.
Yes,
ghosts and aliens.
Aliens, yeah,
and flappers.
Lovely.
Well, thank you, Doctor.
No, that's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Should I stay here now? Or
just stay for the moment. So. Listeners, I hope you enjoyed our conversation with Dr. And he really does have a lot of knowledge on both monsters. Ghosties, monsters. I don't like to call them monsters because some ghosts aren't, but they're very nice. Anyway, and aliens.
And don't forget Ghosts and the Ghoulies.
Ghosts and Ghoulies,
that's
yes.
Out next week.
He knows all about this.
I've done the first draft.
Yes, he is somebody with a long and brief career in this subject. So. Well, we'll get back to another aspect of this show, our Halloween show, and hopefully Dr. will be back in the future. Well, thanks for that. That's good. What can we get you? What can we get you back?
An expert on next time.
About what?
What could I be an expert on next?
Oh, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you don't know? You haven't thought?
I have no idea.
About neckties. Are they still relevant to the 21st century? Are they? I don't think they are.
No, I don't think that they are. But
we could take.
We should still do it.
Oh, sorry, we're still recording.
Oh.
Are you sitting comfortably? Hello, this is me, Yeti Uncle John. I'm doing a seance. I want to contact the other dimension. I've got a message for them from Paul the Shy Yeti. Yes, I have. Sorry, smoke from the candles is getting the sort of my sinuses out. Can you hear me, Other Dimension? Yes. This is a message from Shayeti. This is me, Yeti Uncle John. I'm passing on the message. Hello. Can you hear me? Ooh. Hello. Oh dear, this is taking ages. Paul. I think that I need your help. What, Cromitty? I'm in the middle of an episode. Look, you say no, but Yeti Uncle John. Oh, what's he done now? Well, he's proposing doing a séance. Oh, not another séance. We're always doing séances on this show. Yes, but this is for the Other Dimension. To contact them. It's always strange that. Séances for other dimensions. I mean, they're not dead. They're just somewhere else. Yes, Paul, but this is, how we saw Charlie Gurr contact them last time. Yes, I remember. Do we need a flashback? We could have a very quick flashback. Okay, here's a flashback of when we contacted the Other Dimension via a pie seance. Happy New Year? I can't remember if we've said that already. Yes, Happy New Year. Happy Pie Year, as I say. Yeah, yes, Happy Pie Year. Did you have any good pies over Christmas? I had 217 good pies, yes. 217? That sounds a lot even for you. No, well, it was the Christmas period. Some of them were mince pies, so they were small. Smallish. Oh, I've seen your mince pies. I've been to Christmas parties with you. Your idea of a mince pie is most people's... it's a false... It wasn't a little handheld pie. It's anyway, as long as you enjoyed yourself. Oh, yes, I did. It was very good. But anyway, I need to contact you, Paul. Oh, well, you have done. I'm here. What did you want to say? Well, Paul, I don't know if you've ever heard of a pie seance. Pie seance. Well, is it like it sounds? Yes, Paul, it is a seance conducted with a pie. Okay. When you get messages from the pie, is it like a seance where you're hearing from people that are long since passed, or is it messages from pies that are long since passed? Paul, don't be stupid. No, pies do not contact you from the dead. Well, they're not dead anyway. When you eat a pie, you assimilate it. It becomes part of the bear who eats it, or whoever eats it. Well, that's a nice way of thinking about it. Yes, I guess that's the case. There's no such thing as a dead pie. No such thing as a dead pie, not at all. No, it just becomes part of the bear. The spirit out there, please tell us, speak us, the name of the person you have a message for. Shy Yeti. Oh, it's for me. We were kind of expecting it though, Paul. Well, I guess so. Shush, listen. So you wish to speak to Shy Yeti. What is it you want to say? We need your help. We need your help. In the other dimension. We need your help. Only you can help, Shy Yeti. Only you can help us. Help us. But how can I help you? I don't like travelling across to the other dimension. It concerns me that you need my help, but I mean, I don't do much travelling these days. What with the pandemic and all that sort of thing, I tend to like to stay at home. I mean, you're just making excuses, Paul. I can understand why he's nervous.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot going on.
Well, I mean, he needs us. I can't just go gallivanting about. Shush now. The voices have more to say. Oh, do they? You must help us. We need you. Shy Yeti.
We need you. Only you can help. Only you can help us. You can help us. Only you. Only you can help. Only you can help. Please help us. Please help us. Time is running out. Time is running out. Time is running out. Running out. Oh dear, Paul. They do sound like, they're much in need. Yes, but I don't know how to get to the other dimension. It's not like you can take a train or something. Well, that's a good point. Well, ask it how you get there. We'll come with you.
Oh yeah, I'll come with you.
I may have a headache that day. Cromitty. I may have a headache that day too. That was going to be my excuse. Oh dear. Yes, so that's what he's trying to do next door. He's not volunteering to go himself, is he? No, he's trying to give you a sick note so you don't have to go. Apparently, Charlie Gurr keeps getting pestered by them, and then he in turn pesters Yeti Uncle John because you got the phone diverted. Oh, yes, I did. And he called from Charlie Gurr, goes straight to Yeti Uncle John. I was quite proud of myself for sorting that out. Yes, Paul, but I don't trust Yeti Uncle John to do a seance. He could do something bad or conjure up something horrible. Oh, you're right. He could do. Well, I think that whilst we're working out what's going on with Yeti Uncle John, listeners, you might like to hear a Sutton Park clip. I hope it's a spooky one. I can't guarantee it. We never know what's going to get edited in. Sutton Park is generally quite spooky. Yes, Paul. Come on. Here, have a listen to this, listeners.
Meanwhile, back in France, Crispin has arrived, and Tremaine is busy with his experiments. Yes, I'm very pleased. This is better than I ever expected, definitely. Inspector Mayhew is now independent of his life support machine. He is as good as alive. Yes. Yes, most successful. I am most pleased, yes. Most certainly. I never expected it to be quite so successful. Anyway, so it is almost as if he is comatose, and yet he has no personality, no identity. Yes, I've pretty much done all I need to do here, but if I can try and get him to return to his usual self, with a personality of his own, yes, maybe spending time with more people would be an advantage. Being isolated over here is probably not so good. Obviously, he's got me and the king. Now Crispin survived, but he's got his own problems. I'll have to think of an alternative, but for the moment, this will have to do. Mayhew is on his way back. We'll be able to restore some life force to him. Yes. Good boy. Good boy. Calm down. Dear. A bit lively, pets from next door. You really shouldn't be in here, you know. But you are so affectionate. Yes. There, rest now, Mayhew. Rest now. He has such a glazed look on his face. Don't worry. Rest now. Rest. Yes, there will be a way. There will be things I can do. You're doing very well. Maybe his personality can return. Maybe a change of scene. But I don't really want to run away immediately. Not with Crispin around here. I mean, he's returning. He's got his own problems. I hope he's okay. Yes, rest now. Rest. And you really ought to go back home. Yes. It's good to be back. It really does feel like home. Strange, really. Strange. Because it's not home, not really, is it? Not really home. But it's become home. It really has. So comforting, so... Oh yes. Glad to be back. God, my life's a mess. It's in ruins and tatters. No, Crispin, you really ought not to panic. What is telling you have experienced some sort of supernatural experience, some sort of possession, some sort of changing of your personality. But listen, I mean, you may have changed, but, well, if this was some sort of curse, I'm sure it would be reversed. I know you're probably not feeling it at the moment, but, I mean, so, I mean, everyone understands that you were cursed, that you could not change anything. If you did make some sort of pass at Letty and Lottie, then fair enough. I mean, it was not of your own doing, and I'm sure Gorgos members understand that. Really, Crispin, you shouldn't be so hard on yourself. You really shouldn't. I know, and everything here is going so well. And yet, what can I say? I shouldn't be so hard on myself, but it could have been so close. I could have ruined everything. If this whole business if we hadn't realised what had happened to me, what might have happened to Gorgos and Nemesis' relationships with their girlfriends, their fiancés? It could have all been my fault. All my fault. No, Crispin, not your fault. Whoever put the curse on you's fault. You must get it out of your head. It was not your fault at all. The sooner you understand it, the better. Please.
Well, my background isn't actually in IT. I come from an information standpoint. A few years back, I did a degree in information studies, which made me qualified as a librarian. And I worked for several years in various libraries. Information studies. Sorry for interrupting. I just want to know. Information studies is the study of information as a resource, the value of information. Many people who study it go on to manage libraries or to work in publishing or other information-based things. Right.
Please work.
Hello. Yes, well, it's been a busy day. Been Callum's birthday. He went to the races yesterday. I've been too busy. Crispin, of course, has gone off to France now. I just went to see him off the airport. I would have liked to have gone to the races, but no. So, yes, I met Callum's tortoise, Tommy, and well, one thing or another. Did you see that lady on the television? The one who was talking. That was your sister, wasn't it?
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to the viewers. That was your sister on the television, wasn't it?
Yeah.
She's in television.
She was on television.
She is in television. She's in television. She might know something about that company that Basil was involved with. But, I don't know. But as for the others, they're upstairs. They just survived with John. Yeah. Well, it's a long story, but they've got to go into hiding. Not having much to do with it, but that's what's going on up there. John, you say we've got to go into hiding. Well, fair enough. We'll go into hiding. If you think it's going to save us, if you think we've got to keep out of the way, we'll all go, yeah? But do you know where? Have you thought where we can go? It's got to be somewhere safe. Somewhere we know they won't get us.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, you thought about that, yeah. Oh, yes, I thought about that. And I know where we're going to be going. Somewhere we know very well. somewhere back in my past. Yes, somewhere where even if he does come, we'll have the advantage. Well, obviously we'll do whatever's best. And if that's what you think is best, then so be it. That's what we've got to do. Whatever you think, John. You're the one who understands this whole business. We've obviously got to get in hiding. I only wish we could rely on Paul's support. I only wish this whole thing hadn't gone so wrong. I feel so much happier if he was on our side. Well, not that he's not on our side, but I mean, if he was actually here to help us, I just feel a lot more confident. I know you. You gotta understand it. It's gone too far for that. He realises that we're in a dangerous situation. I mean, you can rely on him not to inform them, not to tell Francois, but I can't expect any more. Not after what he done. I mean, Francois, he's got a copy of the shares. I mean, should he ever want to use them, should he ever want to give them to the controller, maybe the situation will change and it's all because of me. No, we've just got to move on. I'm going to make up for what I've done in some way. And hoping you, well, that's the nearest thing I can think of. So I'll take you where we think it's safe. We'll just have to hope. We'll just have to hope that he don't find us.
Doctor Pfeffer, are you still there, Doctor?
Oh yes, I am. Yes,
there you are. Sorry. I just wanted to check in on you, or check in with you while you're still here. I know you're somebody with a long and brief career, in this subject.
Yes.
I think I've just had an encounter.
Right, and was that in the hedgerows round the back?
No, I know what you mean, but not today. That was yes. Anyway. No, I think I've been a victim of a poltergeist.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
What happened?
He left me covered in ectoplasm.
Are you sure it wasn't the hedgerows?
No, it's not. It's not unless they've moved to a different hedgerow.
No.
No, they lifted up my skirts and removed my hat and
it does sound like the hedgerows people.
No, it's only a poltergeist. They went
poltergeist.
They went ooh. ooh. That's definitely a poltergeist activity.
Yes, it does sound very, very suspicious at the very least.
Yeah, and they said...
what were they? What sort of colour were they? Is it all white?
Oh no, like translucent.
Translucent.
He said, and they sort of passed through me, and then when they...
Oh gosh.
You can see I'm covered in ectoplasm. That's what that is. That's not... It's not what you were thinking.
No, of course.
Nobody can cover a person.
No.
From top to bottom in what you're thinking about.
More than one, though, there.
Definitely.
There's more than one.
Go and taste it.
No.
Try it.
No, I don't think I could, darling.
Go on, you try it.
All right, then.
Go try it.
Oh my God.
What did that taste of?
But it's a bit salty, and I'm not sure.
Anyway, so I'm covered in ectoplasm because a ghost walked through me.
Yes.
Going ooh, lifted up my skirts, lifted up my hat, cast my stick across the yonder.
Yes, and then what? What did they?
So they laughed. Ha 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 ha.
That's dreadful.
Like this. Ha 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 ha.
Ha ha ha.
No, not quite like that. More like a little bit. Yeah, a bit more like that. Yeah.
That's very, very odd.
That's taunting. Very
I
felt taunted.
Oh dear, I'm sorry.
I felt taunted. I felt ridiculed. It's really shaken my self-confidence.
You should go to the police.
Go to the police? What will they say?
Well, you get a crime reference number.
Is it going to be long? So I won't remember it.
It's okay, because what they do, it's like any other crime. They just open the case and then they close it the next day. It's fine.
Will they write?
We have to do it though.
Will they write it on a bit of paper for me? Because I'm not going to remember if it's like 12 digits.
Of course they will. Of course they will.
Do they?
I mean, nothing will happen, but it's important that you do it.
Have you had much dealings with them in your long and brief career?
The police or the poltergeist?
Both, either.
Well, the former, it'd be too long to go into.
Yeah.
But poltergeist, not so much. Generally, I get the more friendly ones.
Oh, this one wasn't friendly.
No. I'm so sorry, darling. I mean, that must have been so traumatic.
It was traumatic. I was very traumatised. Look, my hair's gone white.
I think it was...
My beard's gone grey?
I think it was grey before, so I don't think that's changed it.
I'm going to have to have a shower. You know how the cost of living... I'm going to have a shower. I'm trying not to have showers at the moment.
No,
because it's so expensive.
Yeah, I noticed.
I'm sure you wouldn't...
Well, I'm downwind at the moment,
sure you
so I am
notice.
noticing, yeah.
But I haven't showered in 7 weeks. So.
No, yeah, I noticed.
But, so I'm just trying not to get covered in ectoplasm. Ectoplasm. Oh, talking about ectoplasm.
Exorcisms.
Have you ever been involved in an ectoplasm?
Yes, I have. Yes, exorcisms. Yeah, no. They just happen all the time, don't they?
Say it to me.
Exorcisms.
Exorcism.
Exorcisms.
Exorcism.
No, not exorcisms, an exorcism. Exorcism, yeah.
Exorcism.
No, they happen all the time. You just go down your local church. They will bring in a demon, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Not a demon in a human, not just the demon by itself.
No, that'd be silly.
Be silly. And then they'll put it on an altar, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously tie it down. It will vomit green soup over you, just like in that film.
The Lives and Loves of Ectoplasm.
That's the one. And then its head will spin round, probably.
That's nice.
Become an arachnid. Rise off. Smoke will come out from it. But it's normally over in about half an hour. They'll just do like a few words in Latin, and then
Latin?
And then the demon will just pop out. It will be, as it were, exorcised at that point, and then that will probably, it wouldn't die. I would think. I would imagine that it would probably go back to hell. And then the human would still be there on the altar, so you'd need to untie the human, and then they would probably have a cup of tea.
Where is hell these days? Is it?
So hell, generally speaking, it's down below. But it's in another dimension also. Yes.
Slough.
That's the one. Yep. Yes. So just outside of London.
Yeah.
It does get pretty hot there. It's a little bit dank and miserable. I don't know if have you ever been?
Well, other than that time I went to those bushes, no, not really.
No. Well, I sort of go past it on the train sometimes. You wouldn't want to stop there, to be honest.
No.
But anyway, the demon goes back there, and the human normally a little bit fine. They're traumatised, just like you've been with the poltergeist today. But, you know, a cup of tea and whatever, and maybe a nice or nice biscuit. Then, you know, they're happy.
Say that word for me again before we go.
Exorcism.
Ectoplasm. No, that's what I've got on me.
Exorcism.
Exorcism. Ecstasy.
Exorcism. No, it's not exorcism. That's what you get with the head trays.
Exorcism.
You got it. It was take for heater.
God, it's difficult. It's the lingo. I can't get my tongue around it. But
that's the same with the hedgerows.
Okay. Anyway, I'm going to have to. Maybe you can just get the garden hose on me. I'll just take it cold. Save, on the whole energy saving business. Just get me with a hose. Just hose me down. Get rid of this ectoplasm.
Yes, I will do, darling. But hose you down soon enough.
Thank you. Anyway, this has got to go. I feel safer now. I've talked to Dr. As I say, an expert in the subject, and in his long and brief career, he's pretty much
Ghosts and the Ghoulies.
You've done everything. You've done everything and almost nothing at the same time. Anyway, well, we'll hope to see you again sometime soon. So, thank you for your expertness. And I'm just going to practice. I'm going to an ectoplasm. I got it right first time. This time. Come on, Paul, quick. All right, I'm coming. Oh, there's Yeti Uncle John. He's very quiet. He sat around the table, and it's very dark in here. The candles seem to have blown out. Let's turn the light back on. Oh, okay. Yeti Uncle John, are you okay? He's not saying anything. Oh my goodness, is he dead? I don't think he's dead. Yeti Uncle John, are you dead? He's breathing. I can see him breathing. What's he done to himself? Hello, Paul. Can you hear me? Yes. Yeti Uncle John. That voice isn't coming from Yeti Uncle John. It's all around us. Oh yes, it's like a voice reverberating around the room. Yeah. How strange. I seem to have done something to myself. You do. Why is your voice not coming out of your mouth? Why is it here? I seem to have split my spirit from my body. You split your spirit from your body? Yes, I'm now a disembodied voice. I want to go back in my body, please. You want to go back in your body, please? Well, yeah. I quite like you to go back in your body as well. Oh dear. What were you doing? As the committee told you, I was trying to contact the other dimension. And did you contact them? I think the answer is no, I did not. But what has happened to me is not satisfactory. Well, no, it's not. Oh dear. I'm not sure what to suggest. Do you need to get me back in my body? Can't you ask nicely? Can't I ask nicely? Comedy, what do you think? I don't know. Oh gosh. I don't know much about, seances. I know about hypnotism. Who do we know? Do we know anybody who knows anything about, seances at all? Other than Charlie, but, I think he knows more about pies than seances. What about Ick? Give him a quick call, Paul. All right. Oh, just a minute. Whoa. How much longer will I be like this? You put yourself in this position. I know, but I was trying to help you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Listeners, whilst I try and get in contact with Ick, we have an actual scary story from Warren, Uncle Warren. He's recorded us a story. It's just arrived this very minute. So I think we'll share that with you. And then when we come back, hopefully we'll be on the phone to Ick. I can't believe you're still doing the show whilst I'm hanging around the ceiling like this. I'll be quiet, did you, Uncle John? It's all your fault. Oh, charming. Listeners, have a listen to this recording.
Good evening. Our story this evening takes us to the British Isles, to the small but quaint country village of Curry Mallet, a mere 10 to 12 miles from the market town of Taunton, located in the county of Somerset. It takes place in the latter end of the 20th century, during the long hot summer of 1976. But for one young boy, this was going to be far from a glorious summer. You see, they moved to the village of Curry Mallet and took up residence in the village stores. It was a wonderful old building, rambling gardens, and a shop which was part of the house. But things weren't quite as they seemed. That 6-year-old boy was about to experience a terrifying situation because something in the house decided it was going to watch over him at night. And whatever it was, it most definitely wasn't friendly. So, for the first few weeks, this 6-year-old was quite happily playing around the house, in the gardens, making friends around the village. But nobody seemed to visit the house, which was odd. He didn't think anything of it, he's 6 years old. But there was something about upstairs, and almost certainly something about the area at the front of his bedroom, that at the landing. You see, there was also no bedroom door, so you could look straight out onto the landing. You could see the top of the stairs, and the stairs led down to the hallway, and off of the hallway was the sitting room, and to the left was the shop. Nothing to worry about. Nothing that seemed out of the ordinary. So, one evening at 8 o'clock, this young lad climbed the stairs to bed, brushed his teeth, brushed his hair, and went to bed. Well, tried to go to bed. His parents were downstairs watching television. It was big heavy doors, you couldn't hear the television, and it was well insulated, so you couldn't hear any noise from downstairs. As he lay in his bed, the room became somewhat uncomfortably cold. Slowly and clearly, he heard a noise coming from the stairs. Somebody was walking up the stairs. The wooden staircase, which was somewhat strange, as it had thick, heavy carpet, and the sounds resonated. Heavy feet on wooden steps. Naturally, the young boy called out, "Who's there?" And the footsteps stopped. Again, he called out, "Who's there?" Not getting a reply, he got out of bed and walked out of his bedroom to the top of the landing and looked down the stairs. There was nobody. Nothing. Just a chill. A very cold, right to the marrow of the bone. Chill. But still, there was nobody there. Somewhat confused and perplexed, the young boy returned to bed and pulled the covers over him. Once again, the footsteps started up. This time, they reached the top of the landing. There was no one there. The light is on the landing. I had the light on whilst he went to bed, and his parents would switch it off when they got upstairs to go to bed themselves. But nothing at the top of the stairs, except the cold and an overwhelming feeling somebody was watching him. Eventually he got to sleep. He didn't have a disturbed night's sleep, but a cold one, which was bizarre because it had been an extremely hot day and the temperature hadn't dropped that much. The following morning over breakfast, he brought the subject up of the footsteps, Both his parents looked at each other and said nobody'd been upstairs until they'd come up to go to bed after watching television, and almost certainly they didn't hear anybody going up the stairs, especially as it's insulated with thick carpet. They just all laughed it off. For the poor 6-year-old, this would happen every night. The footsteps stopping outside his door. He would pull the covers over his face, not wanting to see what is standing there. But it was cold. It was very cold. Until one evening, he saw it. It started like every other evening had for the last 6 months. The footsteps, the resonating sounds, the intense cold. The light on the landing flickered. He pulled the covers back across his face, and there, standing in the doorway, a sheet of blackness, person-shaped, but looming, almost filling the frame of the door. It was cold, and the blackness was moving forward. He could just see the pale light flickering behind him on the landing. He let out a massive scream, and all of a sudden the blackness moved to the left. But to the left was the spare bedroom. His parents came up. What's going on? He was in a state. He was sweating. It wasn't cold anymore, but he said, "There's somebody in the spare room." His mother went to try the door of the spare room. The doorknob was freezing cold, and all of a sudden from inside the spare room came a clattering sound. Both parents put their shoulders against the door, and the door opened normally. But inside the spare room, everything was in disarray. The bed was on its side. There was a chair on its top, and clothes were strewn everywhere. There was no way that this 6-year-old could have done that. The bed was really heavy. It was an old wooden bed. But yet something had done it. And that room was so cold. The 6-year-old just wouldn't enter the room. For the rest of the evening, the family sat downstairs in front of the fire, watching the television. The young boy huddled up, covered in his eiderdown. When it came to bedtime, he slept at the bottom of their bed, fearing to go back into his bedroom, for who knows what he might see. After a few days, he returned to his bedroom, but still there was the footsteps on the stairs stopping on the landing, and that overwhelming sense that somebody was looking in on him. He never saw the shape again. There was never the darkness, but always the cold. There was always the cold, and he never set foot in the spare room again. Thankfully, they only stayed 18 months. It was 18 months of his life that he wished he had never been through. 20 years later, the young lad returned to find out a little bit about what might have been going on. The shop was still there, so naturally he thought he'd inquire. They were far from friendly when they asked a question about the noises. Well, had they seen anything really? They weren't very forthcoming. So he did a little bit more digging and found a historian, a local historian. He explained that when the Black Death ravaged through the village, it decimated its community, and so a large pit was dug, the location of which, well, as you can guess, is the garden of the house in which the 6-year-old lived with his family. It's always been an unquiet place, he said. There's something not quite right about that place. You could say to me, well, that's a very nice yarn, Warren, for telling us that over the Halloween period. It's a nice story, isn't it? A bit chilling. Ghosts, ghoulies and things that go bump in the night. But take it from me, it's gospel. Because I was that 6-year-old in 1976.
It's me, Paul.
Hello, Paul. How can I help?
Do you know anything about seances?
Do I know anything about seances? No. No, why would I? I come from space. We don't do seances in space.
You don't? I'm sure I saw an episode of Space 1999 involved a space seance.
Well, maybe on Space 1999, but not here in real life.
I'm sorry.
Why do you want to know about seances? Because
Yeti Uncle John has... he's separated his body from his spirit or something. He's lying unconscious on the table, but his voice is echoing around the room.
Well, how did that happen?
Oh, he was doing a seance. He was trying to contact the other dimension for me.
Oh dear, not that old plotline.
I'm afraid so.
I thought you told them no, you weren't going.
Well, I'm not going, but they keep bothering Charlie Gurr, and then Charlie Gurr keeps bothering Yeti Uncle John, so Yeti Uncle John's trying to put a stop to it and, give me a sort of sick note so that, to say that I can't go because I'm too ill.
You definitely can't go off running to the other dimension, Paul. It's not good for you.
No, it won't be good for me.
It's like some sort of scam. They say they need your help, and then you get over there, they won't let you back again or something. Well, they'll steal your PIN number from your credit card.
Well, they won't find a lot of money in there. But you don't know anything?
No, I don't. What about Bettina? I can imagine her going to seances.
Oh, yeah, good idea. Okay, I might call Bettina.
You do that. I'll let you go.
We'll speak again soon?
Yes, Paul, of course.
Dear, oh dear. I don't know why I didn't think of Bettina. She's just the sort of person to have done a seance at some point.
Hello, Bettina, do pray, how can I help?
Bettina, it's me, Paul.
Oh, darling, how are you?
I'm fine. Have you done a seance?
Have I done a seance, darling?
Yes, have you done a seance? Do you know about seances?
Oh, I don't think I have. No, well, I've been to them. I've even played a clairvoyant in a couple of films, but, no, I only know about fake seances.
Oh, dear, we were hoping you could help.
In what way, darling?
Oh, Yeti Uncle John, he's got his spirit split from his body. He's lying unconscious on the kitchen table with his voice floating around the ceiling.
Oh, darling, no more than I would expect from Yeti Uncle John. Why did he do that?
Oh, because he's trying to contact the other dimension. For me. It's a long story.
Oh, darling, I think I know a little bit about what's going on, but I would suggest you call Tallulah.
Really?
Yes, darling. I don't know about seances, but she definitely reads the tarot cards from time to time. She's read my fortune before now.
Has she? Didn't know that. Okay. Well, I'll give her a call. Yeah, well, thank you.
Well, you call her quickly. You don't know how long Yeti Uncle John will hang around the ceiling before he starts floating off up into space or something.
Does that happen? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know, darling. It sounds like it could do.
Well, anything can happen on this show.
Oh, you're not wrong.
Okay, I'll give Tallulah a call. But we'll be in touch soon.
Of course, darling. Let me know how it goes.
Will do. Oh, golly. Sorry, just typing.
Hello, Martin. Can I help?
Martin, hi. Yes. It's me, Paul.
Oh, hello. What's going on? I notice it's the Halloween episode. Don't tell me. Something dreadful.
Yeah, well, kind of. Yeti Uncle John's split his spirit from his body, and he's lying unconscious on the kitchen table, but his voice is floating up near the ceiling.
Oh, dear. Oh, well, what can we do?
Bettina tells me that Tallulah can read the tarot or something.
Oh, yeah, well, she has done.
Thought that she might know how to reverse this thing.
Oh, dear. Look, Mum's still acting quite weirdly. I don't know that you'd want to see her, and I think if I asked her, she'd just say no.
Really? She's still, what, after the garden party?
I'm afraid so. She's very erratic. Just trying to keep her focused on her work. We've lost a few students recently because she shouted at their parents, and I'm having to try and do damage limitation. I don't know what's wrong with her.
Oh, gosh. I'm sorry to bother you with this, Martin.
Look, I'll have a quick word. If she tells me what can be done, I'll come over and I'll do it.
Really? Is it that easy?
I don't know. I just don't think you want her being there.
Gosh. I didn't realise things were so bad.
Well, she's having a bad day at the moment. Martin, where are you? Who are you talking to? The baker. Just talking to the baker about a delivery I need to go and pick up. Oh, I see. Well, don't delay. I won't, Mum. Sorry.
Oh, gosh, she does sound grumpy. Okay, well, you have a word with her. And I don't know how you're going to have a word with her.
Don't worry, I'll manage it. I'll think of something.
Okay, well, if you do, please just come over as soon as you can.
I will do, Paul. I will do.
Oh gosh. What a nightmare. Goodbye, Martin. See you later, perhaps.
I hope so, yes.
Oh gosh, listeners, what a nightmare. Oh, I've got a cup of coffee here. I need to drink it. Oh, it's got a bit cold. Paul, what's going on? Have you solved the problem? I spoke to Ick, no good. Spoke to Bettina, no good. But she did put me onto Tallulah. Oh, that's good. Tallulah knows about these things? I did not know that. Well, apparently she reads the tarot sometimes. Anyway, I called Martin. Martin says that she's indisposed. Indisposed? Yeah, but he's going to come over. He's going to try and find out what needs to be done. What, to get Uncle John off the ceiling? Well, to get his voice off the ceiling, yes. Oh, good. Well, what are we going to do till then? I'm not sure. Nick and Joe and I did talk about another film. A film called The Paganini Horror. That's from 1989. And, it's very silly. Also set in Italy. Quite silly. We did record about it and what we thought about it. And, well, both the films we watched that night I chose. So I like them already. But anyway, let's see what Nick and Joe thought of them. Oh, and Ali. I think she was there too. Oh, dear. I hope Martin doesn't take too long. I hope he doesn't take too long too. Have a listen to this, listeners. So, listeners, we've just watched probably one of the most important horror films of the 1980s. Paganini Horror, one of my big favourites, starring Donald Pleasence for a little bit, either end of the film. It does have, I've forgotten her name now, but her, and lots of other people who are acting within an inch of their lives, or attempting to act. But, Nick, what did you make of this important work in cinema?
History. I rather enjoyed it, actually. If anything, I probably preferred it to the first one. It's a nice, chilling idea. The twist at the end was good, which obviously, for obvious reasons, we're not going to tell you what it is. I can say this because Joe's in the room. There were some very watchable ladies with very watchable leggings, but that's all I'm prepared to say on the matter. There's the script.
There was a script.
Well, we can surmise there probably was. The script was kind of a bit clunky in places. There's some very kind of eye-popping exposition, and I'm a great fan of exposition. I think it's very it's very maligned, much maligned. But this was kind of like exposition with clunky lines. But yeah, I mean, it was a quite a nasty scenario, but quite. Paganini is at the centre of it, but there's a wider issue. So Paganini is almost irrelevant by the end. So the end kind of, although it's a clever twist, it renders the sort of central concept a little bizarre. But I suppose, but no, it was good fun.
It's very silly. Daria Nicolodi, that's who I was thinking of. Dario Argento's ex-wife by this point, I think. But Joe, what do you think about this important work in cinema?
It's very typical sort of 80s sort of Italian horror. It's interesting because it throws in all those sort of things that play music backwards, which sort of that satanic music panic of the 80s is sort of thrown in there. But yeah, I mean, it's very exploitative. Some very nice skimpy costumes for the young ladies in it. But I mean,
check.
I mean, it's difficult to say as well, give away the end to it. But I mean, it's built up that they're meant to be a popular set of music artists. Isn't anyone going to notice they just vanish off the face of the earth?
And also that they nick Bon Jovi songs and ELO songs and do their own versions.
Yeah.
But I think that's more the film than the actual band.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice, as I said, that if that was actually meant to be a nicer side of sort of plagiarising other people's work. Yeah, but I just think it is just that they just nick them.
The thing is, their bad song is like their version of a Bon Jovi song. So it would have been a big hit. So it wasn't really a good example of a bad song, whether you like Bon Jovi or not, or their version. They should have done a really bad song, like that was a bad song, not just nicked a famous song and then made it their own. But there was Venice again, which I forgot about. Not fleetingly, although they've got one of the towers in.
One of the things I was most interested in. The other thing is, it's not actually a very good print. Even though it's on Blu-ray, they haven't actually got a very good print of it. And one of the night scenes, or the dusk scenes, hit the same problem we did 5 years later on a film we made called Tide of Freedom, which we did on the beach. And that was the light goes, and it was everything goes blue. In fact, I had the same problem when I remade the film 5 years later, and you would have thought I mean, I don't know how much budget they have for the lighting, but you would have thought a small word about Donald Pleasence. Mad as a mongoose in this, and it was just nice to see him. It's always nice to see him.
Well, the West saying that he is dubbed by somebody who sounds nothing like Donald Pleasence.
Yes, more like Christopher Lee,
which is unlikely.
But we also by a postscript we also saw a trailer for the New York Ripper on the first disc that we were watching this evening. And there's Jack Hedley, who is about the most British actor. He was as British as the Union Jack, and they gave him a sort of tele-surprise voiceover, which kind of like what? So I think they just wanted his body. But no, that was bizarre experience. But
I think that was possibly my third time with Paganini horror, but that was one that I did sort of enjoy from the first time I saw it, because it was so ridiculous and silly, and people shaking each other when they're talking, like, don't you understand? Shake, 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 and then the other person, yes, I do understand, shakes them back.
Exposition.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and the exposition. That was exposition to end all expedition.
People falling through floors and crawling through tunnels and getting covered in mustard or what looked like mustard and tomato ketchup.
That's right, yeah. So geographically, it was a bit of I think the moral of the story is get yourself a decent bloody recording studio. Not some hellhole, quite literally hellhole in Venice.
Because there's a force field that builds up around the house that they're trapped in.
They nicked that from the demons, didn't they?
Yeah. And when they think, oh, is it gone? Is it gone? They reach forward, and then one of them still gets shocked, and then the other one kind of, grabs her too, and then she gets shocked. And
they're obviously very keen to paint their own limbs, though, because the amount of times they went, my hands, this is my hand, this is my hand, my kingdom.
There's a lot of hysterics.
Yes. There's a lot of history on it.
Yes. And the force field effect did look a bit like the old title sequence to Casualty.
And also, I have to say, there's a pile of dust at the end, which sort of is a little contrived. But it's difficult to know kind of what happens to the lead baddie at the end, because you know he sort of appears to die, but then you think, well, is that happening all over again? But is it happening exactly all over again? It's as clever as it's confused. The denouement.
I don't think it stands up to a close interpretation. No,
it's sort of like an idiot's version of Children of the Stones.
But I hope you liked my choices. I thought they complemented one another, even though they were quite different.
I think I preferred them to Aliens too, I must admit.
Oh, I like Aliens too as well.
Sorry. They're fun.
I just hope you don't both have nightmares.
I think it'll be all right then.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm playing tomorrow morning, so
thank you, listeners.
That's why you didn't want to say over that up there.
Did you enjoy it, Ali?
Yeah, it was good. It was a lot of fun.
Yes. So, listeners, those were our two scary films for this episode.
And you can sort of add this as a postscript to something else. Joe has brought me from his archive, copious archives of the Magnet Editor and Life After. It's brought me several bits of artwork from the latter Magnet Editor, which I'd hitherto completely forgotten that I'd done, and so that's been nice to see again. And I've given in return him a novelisation of Stranger Lives Again, which there's several of his characters which I hope I've done good justice to.
Well, if you
it's a similar vintage of the film.
I'm surprised they weren't delivered to you in an ancient scroll which was wrapped around an old toilet roll. There was a scene where the scroll with this song by Paganini was handed over. They unwrapped it and broke the seal, and when they unfolded it, it was wrapped around a toilet roll. Even though he died in 1840.
Sold a few copies of that, so unlike Paganini's work, it's not actually unique. So. Anyway, yes, thank you.
Hi, listeners. Dr. has gone now, so I'm doing my best to, use what he taught me, what he told me, the wise words, and he has many wise words. In his long and brief career, he has such a lot of wisdom to give. And one of the things I asked him that I sort of focused on in our conversations outside of what you heard recording was, I explained to him that I was going to be spending a night in this haunted house, and I asked him what I needed to do, to sort of either attract the ghosts or just to deal with whatever I might experience. One of the things he suggested was a bottle of port. So I've got myself a bottle of port. He also, and I didn't understand him to start with, he suggested I got a nice curry in, a range of different side dishes, maybe a nice dessert, perhaps a trifle, ice creams, obviously more than one flavour. And I thought he meant, that, the ghosts might want to come and join me for the meal, and that having the food would sort of lure them out of the woodwork. But no, what he said was that was really just for me, because I probably find that I was waiting quite a long time, and I probably wouldn't experience anything, which is a bit annoying. I think that's probably, being a little bit pessimistic. But, I guess he's done the same thing in his long and brief career. He'll have spent nights in
spooky places. He mentioned that maybe I get myself a Netflix subscription, and I told him it was fine, that I had I bought some DVDs with me, so I didn't need Netflix. But on this occasion, he said no, Netflix is for the ghosts, because the ghosts want to catch up on the latest season of Stranger Things, which I myself have been watching very recently, and boy, they don't half stretch that story out across 9 episodes, I can tell you. Feels like you're sitting and watching 9 movies, and yet very little happens. But anyway, that's me being overcritical, I'm sure. Dr. He's quite contradictory in some things he advises. So, food is for me, not for the ghosts, although he didn't say that any of the food would put the ghosts off, it's just that ghosts don't eat. I thought perhaps they did. Shows how little I know. And whereas the Netflix was for the ghosts more than myself, so I've got that all sorted. But if I hear anything, I'll let you know. Maybe there will be some ghostly visitation which I can capture on the recording if it comes out, of course. Dr. I think I probably preferred more than was necessary there. I've lost count of how many F's is in his surname. Dr. F said that sometimes ghosts like to play tricks and that they try and turn off recording devices. It's not that I'm recording on video anyway, so it's more voices I'm hoping for, but we shall see. Okay, well, I'll get that bottle of port open, and again, I'm not sure whether that was for me or for the ghosts, or possibly for both of us, you know. Is port a spirit? No, I think it's a fortified wine. Never mind. I would have thought he would have wanted me to bring vodka or gin or something like that. Don't worry, you won't get that joke. It's a supernatural expert joke. Yeah, spirits are the type of drink, and we're hunting spirits. No, don't worry, and I know you won't get it. It's very niche humour there. Okay, right. I shall report back.
Where's Martin? For goodness sake. I don't know. He's got to get the advice out of Tallulah. And if she's distracted, I don't know. What's going on? I'm still stuck up here in the ceiling somewhere. It's fine. I've asked for advice. We'll find a way of reversing you. I mean, getting you back in your body. Did you get a chance to speak to the other dimension? No, I did not. I've not heard from anybody. I'm just floating up here. No word from the other dimension at all. Oh dear. Gosh, well, Well, there might be some other things I've recorded for this episode. I can't remember. Well, you could put that on now, Paul. Yeah, until Martin gets here. Yeah, okay. Listeners, there'll be some other bits now. I'm not sure what they are. I'm a bit distracted. I'm so sorry. Yes, listeners. Oh, I'm stuck up here in the ceiling. Well, just stay where you are. Don't wiggle. What do you mean, don't wiggle? Well, if you wiggle, you might go up into the roof space or float up into space. That's what Bettina said. Or was it Ick? One of them said that. That's not going to happen, is it? Well, I don't know. I don't know anything about these sorts of things. Well, that's not totally true, but... anyway, listeners, have a listen to whatever this is. And when we come back, hopefully Martin will be here. Joe, this is our horror episode. Is there anything you want to say? Anything you want to? Any words of wisdom about Halloween horror? Anything whilst you're here?
Halloween horror.
Well, anything
Halloween,
scary.
The Halloween films.
Sorry.
The Halloween films.
No. Like, as this is the episode that this is. Is there anything about horror? And I know you're a big fan of horror.
Horror, haven't we?
Indeed, yes.
Yeah, 1986 we did our first joint story together, which was One October Night, which was... we both came up with the idea of a Halloween story both together, didn't we, in about 84? And we thought, instead of doing rival ones, let's just team up, because we knew we were going to write the last manuscript of the story. And we decided that, in the end, that we needed a dry run or two. So we did one together, and there was little bits from Nightmare on Elm Street and a bit more horror and stuff, and a bit of Halloween there as well. But yeah, it was good.
And a bit of prefiguring Torchwood.
Exactly. Yeah, we worked out when we did the book that we predicted Torchwood by 20 years. We were 20 years ahead of Torchwood.
If you were going to sit down and watch a scary film around this time of year, what would your go-to be? I probably asked you this before, but
good question. You see, normally, obviously, I'd love The Wicker Man, but I always tend to watch that in May.
Yeah.
It's the time the film's set, so that's always my rituals to watch it on the 1st of May. Can't help myself. But yeah,
50 years old. Well, it was recorded. Yeah. It was filmed 50 years ago. This month, next month.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's a good question. What is your favourite autumnal horror film?
I don't think I've got a seasonal.
Well, like Auntie Rue's.
Auntie Rue's always Christmas. We always get our Auntie Rue. We always get that out at Christmas. I just like it's a nice creepy kind of.
I probably watch. In a way, I probably watch as much or more horror films around Christmas because I can't stand Christmas, and I don't like TV shows that get showed at Christmas.
One of my favourite Christmas films is a horror film. But no, so that would be definitely Christmas. But I don't think I've got to go to autumnal horror film.
I guess Images and Symptoms are both more autumnal than Christmas. Although I tend to watch them at Christmas, but.
Yeah, no. I mean, Christmas for me is just rewatching my box set of Ghost Stories for Christmas.
Yeah, we were talking about that. We've been talking about that today with another guest.
Stone Tape.
And the Stone Tape, indeed, yes, because of course that was and that was a Boxing Day presentation.
Yes,
indeed, the same year you got a Ghost Story for Christmas.
Actually,
which is a bumper crop for one year.
Yeah, I mean, I think the last time I watched Stone Tape was on Boxing Day.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, so I have to keep trying to sort of watch it at Christmas period after 81. Not horror, but pretentious on a load of old cobblers. But for some reason I can't stop watching it on occasion. But no, yeah, autumnal horrors. Canine in Company, probably.
Even though that's at Christmas.
That is Christmas, but it's, yeah.
I suppose the Amityville horror was filmed.
Yeah, the problem was
in the fall.
Yeah, I mean the problem was I rewatched the Amityville horror, the original, and it was terrible. I mean, it really
come on, it's so bad that it's watchable. I mean, it's just
barely. I mean, I've
it.
been rewatching a lot of old films like that. I mean, The Changeling was what I rewatched. Terrible. What's that?
Terrible can be good if you're in the right mood, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that one Volly Reed in?
Burnt Offerings.
Yeah, terrible.
That's a.
I watched that.
Dan Curtis, who did Dark Shadows.
Yeah, no, I remember that being quite scary as a kid, but then as an adult, you said, "This is terrible."
I remember you a few years ago. You brought when we were at St Martin's Church Street. You brought a horror film around called Waxwork.
Oh, that's
with the late David Warner, who's just passed away. And I remember you sat me down and showed it to me, and you said when you first saw it, you thought, "Oh, shit," and then you thought, "Oh, it's a piss take."
Well, it's so po-faced to start with. You think it's going to be typical sort of late 80s horror film, and eventually just. Particularly when Patrick McNee turns up, you realise, oh, he's taking the piss.
But then we've got Kill Keith, which is send up of Kill Bill, and
with Keith Chegwin.
The whole film is basically got to kill shaggers, and it's
a good fun one. That actually,
it's lunatic from the
maybe I'll share that
credits
next time round,
right to the end credits. It just ends up absolutely everything.
I suppose the only thing I think of autumnal will be something like. Probably it's films that I remember having watched at Halloween, things like the Blair Witch Project. I first saw it on the cinema, and when they re-released The Exorcist at the cinema, which
I suppose Carrie.
Yeah.
I remember, I think it was 2015, you were around at my place doing the commentary for Smile Again, and we did, I think we did a Carrie back-to-back. We did Carrie and Carrie 2. I've actually got a lot of time for Carrie 2. A lot of people don't like it. It's not exactly Carrie, but it does pull some different rabbits out of different mouths.
Useless link here. The bloke who did the music for Phantom of Death also did the music for Carrie. Brian De Palma favourite.
I've got a soft spot for Blair Witch 2, which
Shadows.
Yeah, which actually I think it has developed a bit of a following, or you know.
I was impressed with Blair Witch actually. I remember you showed me Blair Witch.
Although I don't like the remake, that was pointless. But
I remember you liking it because it was a bit Sutton Parky.
Well, we'd already
done that.
Yeah. It's not made as much money or any money.
I don't know. I mean, maybe if I'm just going to go for a horror, it would be autumnal period as you get to Halloween. I might really watch the ITV Casting the Runes.
Oh, yeah.
That's got a certain something about it. But I keep meaning to have a big watch of that because there's several films and things like that based on M.R. James stories. I think there's probably a good treatise to be written on approaches to M.R. James. Ghost Stories for Christmas. There's that version of Casting the Runes. Of course, you could also rewatch the great Night of the Demon. Probably a good Halloween film in there. But yeah, it's also that there's also that bizarre Italian film called The Church.
Oh yeah,
has a few quarters around it, which apparently is based on an M.R. James story. And sort of goes off at a tangent.
Yeah.
But then Children of the Stones is something we enjoy watching. And our housemate
Lucy
watched it in the wrong order. She watched the last episode first, so she thought this guy had sort of a resurrection had happened, then watched the other, and it was like.
She also asked if it was based on a true story.
Yeah, it completely freaked her right out watching the last episode first, and then 1, 2, 3.
People are really turned to stone.
Yeah, and she was going. People say "Have nice days." It sounds like happy days.
And I actually, I saw Children of the Stones, but it was first televised, and it did give me nightmares. And the music was still giving me nightmares in my 30s. Well, it was quite. Ooh. I mean, yeah, I remember being very, very chilling, but it was very cleverly done in the way it was done. It's all. Ooh.
Well, thank you very much. I just don't get too scared. We need you back next year.
Sleep well.
Have a nice day.
Have nightmares. Have nightmares.
Oh, Martin, thank goodness you're here.
Well, I'm a bit nervous about doing this, but I did speak to Mum, and this is what she said.
What did she say?
Oh, well, I'll tell you in a minute.
Well, how did you get the information out of her?
I said it was something I needed to know for a crossword I was doing.
And she believed you?
I'm not sure if she believed me or not, but, well, anyway, I got it out of her.
Okay. Hello, Martin. I'm up here in the ceiling.
Oh, hello, giddy Uncle John. Gosh, that's strange. I can see you in front of me, and I can hear you up there.
Yes.
What did you do, giddy Uncle John?
I was trying to contact the other dimension for Paul, and this is what happened. Most embarrassing. Yes, well, you should have just ignored them. I mean, look where you've got yourself now. Oh, so ungrateful. Let's stop arguing. What do we need to do?
Well, we better light these candles again.
Oh, yes, I'll do that. And then what? Do we all have to sit around the table?
I suppose so, yeah, let's all sit around the table.
Oh, be careful with that chair. That one's a bit wobbly.
I'll be careful, thank you.
I didn't know you had a bald spot, Martin.
I'll try not to mention it. Oh, dear.
Well, however did you see that, did you, Uncle John? Oh, of course, because you're looking down on us from up there. Yes, I can see all your bald spots. Well, it's not that difficult to hide mine. Oh, dear, Paul. What happens now? Shush. I've got to get into the mood, apparently. Okay, yeah, get in the mood, Martin. Do you need do you need a gin and tonic or anything?
That's not the sort of spirits I was thinking of, but we do have to contact them. Actually, I might need a vodka afterwards, but anyway, shush now.
We're being quiet. Oh, yes, we're being very quiet. Yeah, we're being very quiet. You're not being quiet yet, Uncle John, so shush.
Can you all be shushed, please?
Yes, be quiet.
Now, what was it Mum said? She said, I appeal to the spirits to return you to Uncle John, to return his aura to his body. The two have been separated, and they must be returned. Please see that it is done.
Is that it?
Quiet.
Sorry. Paul, be quiet now. I don't feel anything's happening to me.
You be quiet too, Yeti Uncle John.
Oh, sorry.
I'll say it again. Spirits, I need you to return the aura of Yeti Uncle John to his body. The two have become separated. Please see that it is done.
I feel a little tingly.
Maybe it's starting to work.
Oh, wow. And maybe we should all say it. What, even me?
No, not you, but it's a good idea, Cromitty. Here we go.
Spirits,
please return the aura of Yeti Uncle John to his body. The two have become separated. Please see that it is done.
Oh, I'm feeling most tingly. It's very strange. The room's got very cold all of a sudden. It has, hasn't it?
I think something's happening. Look, your body's beginning to move.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Hello guys. What's going on? I'm back in my body. Oh, thank goodness for that. Thank goodness for that. Oh, Yeti Uncle John, don't go anywhere near a Ouija board or try a seance ever again.
It could have been so much worse, Paul.
Yes, it could have been so much worse. Could have been. He could have conjured up another demon. Yes, so much worse. Oh, golly gee. Yeti Uncle John, I'm so glad that you're back in your body. Yes, me too. Oh dear. Oh, I better let everybody know. Toppy will want to know. Bettina, Ick.
Well, I'm glad I could help.
Well, thank Tallulah for us.
Well, I kind of will, but as I hadn't told her what exactly I was doing, I can't really.
Oh, well, that's fine.
I better go because, I'm supposed to be just popping down the grocery store, or the baker's, or whatever I told her.
Yeah, okay. And his spirit or aura is not going to float out of his ear hole again, is it?
No, he should be back permanently.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Yes, right. Well, I better start calling round.
Hello, it's me again. I'm sure you're keen to know how my ghost hunting went. As you remember, I had all my provisions for the night, but things didn't quite go to plan. I did do some recording. Have a listen. Hello? 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 Ghosts? Hello? Hello? I'm here to record you. Where are you? Where are you? I've got all manner of refreshments. You can watch the TV. I can turn the lights off if you like, or I can put them back on again. Hello? Come on, ghosties. Just say hello. I don't want to say hello. So as you can see, things didn't quite go to plan. But anyway, it was an experiment. And, Dr. had warned me that it wouldn't be easy. And, we tried these things before. And, yeah, that is our experience. It's not easy. Did it not go as you wanted it to? No, I'm afraid it didn't, no. Oh, well, I'm very sorry about that. It can't be helped. What was it that you were looking for? Oh, I was just looking to speak to one of the resident ghosts, but it didn't happen. No, alas not. Well, I'm very sorry to hear that. Thank you. Well, you try these things, they don't always work. Yes, that's true. Hey, I suddenly remembered something. Oh yeah, what's that? Well, I'm a ghost. How wonderful. Hello, pleased to meet you. You're a what? Oh, good grief, so you are. Listeners, he's here. Well, I'm very boring though, I've got nothing to say. What's your favourite colour? A ghostly brown. And what's your favourite pop group? Oh, I like the Nolan Sisters. The Nolan Sisters, okay. And your favourite meal? Oh, I don't really eat anymore. I don't need to. Yeah, fair enough. What was your favourite food? I quite like to roast dinner. Anything else? Well, the thing is, I came prepared with all these different food items and things to do, but I forgot to write a list of questions. Oh well, I've got to go and do my laundry now. Your laundry? Yes. White sheets and all that. They get quite dirty if you don't keep them washed. I guess they would. Oh well, I'll see you again maybe. Yes. Oh, my name's Paul, by the way. What's yours? You can call me Lord Aardvark. Better go. Lord Aardvark? Do you think he was taking the mickey? Well, he was definitely a ghost. Yes, I think he was. Oh well. Not such a washout after all. Oh, I wonder if he's doing his sheets. Maybe he could wash my smalls before I go home. Lord Aardvark, is there room in your washing machine for... Oh, he's gone. What a pity. Never mind. I must let Dr. know that I actually had some success. Yes, right. Right, where's his number? I better go. Goodbye for now.
listeners, that's all we've got time for. End up being a scarier episode than I ever imagined. Thanks to Joe and Nick, and thanks to Warren. Thanks to Toppy and anyone else who's appeared in this episode. I've lost track. We actually have a bonus episode coming up very soon. You know how I was saying at the start of the episode I wasn't sure, what we were going to be doing. Well, now we've actually got a bonus episode. We have a sort of a chat with Nick and Toppy Smelly, which will be coming up next episode. So that is all about sort of scary memories and scary things, just a general chit chat. So yeah, the spooky season has only just begun. You wait for one scary episode, and then another one comes along immediately afterwards. Anyway, I better go. Speak to you again soon. You take care. All right. Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.
Uncle John's okay.
He is, yes. Martin was able to help. Long story, but yeah. Yeti Uncle John is back to his old self.
Oh, good. Good. What about the other dimension?
Not sure. I'm going to try and send them a message outlining once and for all that I can't visit.
They can always come to you.
I did think about that, although I'm a bit worried about what I might be inviting.
Yes, good point.
Anyway, I've got to go. Got to speak to Bettina.
Okay, Paul. Bye for now.
Bye, Ick.
Oh, Paul, I'm so glad to hear it. Oh, he's okay then?
Yeah, he's okay.
And Tallulah was able to help?
Well, Tallulah... Actually, Martin came because Tallulah's busy and she's still not her old self.
Oh, darling. It's what happened at the garden party, isn't it?
Well, it definitely seems to have triggered something. That's not your fault, though.
Well, I feel like it is because it was my party.
Yeah, but the vampires were always going to be there, and actually, at least we pretty much got rid of them after that. Well, Max did.
Oh, yes, I suppose so. I do hope Tallulah gets better soon.
I hope so.
Oh, anyway, send Yeti Uncle John my love.
Will do.
Oh, what about the other dimension?
Oh, don't worry, I'm going to try and send them a message.
Oh, well, take care. Be careful. Don't let them talk you into anything.
I won't. Right. Bye for now.
Oh, yes, goodbye. I can hear the theme music coming.
So can I. Okay, bye for now.
Goodbye, darling. Goodbye.
Send my love to August.
Will do, darling. Will do.
I gotta go now. Bye. Gotta go. Bye.
Goodbye.
It's been good, but yeah, definitely time to come home now.
This show is part of the Pride 48 network. Find more shows over at pride48.com.
Oh dear, what's going on now? Oh, it's the Shy Life Podcast. Let's go.
I have a voice. I have a voice.
You have a voice.
You have a voice. We have a voice.
We have a voice.
Unique voices in podcasting.
UnivazPods.net.
So, Paul, what are you going to try and do? I'm going to try and leave a message. I'm going to try and send it through the ether. Yeah, it's not a very good special effect, Paul. You don't need to say that yet, Uncle John. It's a podcast. They can't see it's a very bad special effect. That's right, Yeti Uncle John. Don't undermine him. Yeah, exactly. Don't undermine me. Oh, I'm sorry, Paul. What do you do next? I'm just going to speak. It's like leaving an answer phone message. Oh, well then, go on. Hello, this is Paul the Shy Yeti trying to contact the other dimension. I've received a message via a friend of mine, Charlie, quite recently, demanding that I come to the other dimension to help sort something, some problem that they weren't specific. I'm just sending this message to say that I can't do that. My mobility is not as good as it was after the pandemic, and I'm not able to come. Also, your message suggested I come alone. Now that really isn't possible. So you can either wait, or there is absolutely no chance I'll be coming. Some days I can barely move around the flat, so I have to take it easy. I have to be very careful. So I'm sorry, but I mean, if you want to come over here, you'd be welcome. We can talk about whatever the problem is here, but I can't come to you. So I'll wait to hear from you. Thanks so much. Don't take too long to reply, will you? I'm waiting to hear from you. Goodbye for now. Do you think that will have done it, Paul? Well, that's how, speaking across the table with the seance and the lights and the candles, and that's supposed to do it. Well, let's just hope that works. I didn't like you inviting them over here, though. We haven't got the space, Paul. Well, I didn't know what to say, did I? It probably isn't a good idea, but I can't go to them. They need to understand that. Dear, oh dear. Well, I hope we hear from them soon. Preferably, I hope that they've sorted out their own problems and you won't need to get involved. Yes, Uncle John, that's a good point. Well, I hope that too. I'm hoping all this delaying tactics has meant that they have sorted out whatever problem it is. But the sooner they realise I'm not going to their dimension, the better. Yes, will. Anyway, listeners, happy Halloween. Hope you had a nice, scary time. Yes, hope you didn't end up floating above your own body, as a disembodied voice like me. Oh dear, Yeti Uncle John. I do hope that didn't happen to you, listeners. Anyway, bye for now. Yeah, bye now. Goodbye.
Oh my God, there's nothing I like better is when another new episode of the Shine Light Podcast comes out.
Yeesh, I hope that Shy Yeti bathed today. That's all I can say.
Hi, Toffee. Hello, it's me.
Hi.
Oh, I just wanted to call to say thank you. We've just got back from Pickle Hollow, and it was lovely being in your Halloween episode.
Well, thanks for coming. Sorry about what happened to Ick. Things happen sometimes, but
yeah. He understands. I put my episode out, my Halloween episode. I hope you like that.
I knew you were going to get yours out first.
Yeah, well, I think they came out about the same time, but I don't know if it's my best by any means, but I think talking to you definitely helped. And
because I was on it, it's probably top notch. It's probably like one of those.
That's what I was kind of betting on. At least I was able to put Halloween episode with Toppy Smelly, guest star Toppy Smelly. So
there you go.
Gets 3 or 4 more downloads, so it's good.
That's right.
Anyway, well, I just wanted to say thank you, and we need to meet up again in a few weeks' time. I need to tell you about this Christmas thing that isn't Christmas. But
we're going to stop it.
I'll let you go, and I need to unpack. So
okay, all right. Well, thanks for letting me know how it went, and I promise I'll send a crate over of cat food because I ate it all. I'm sorry that,
but Dilly didn't like that flavour anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks. Send my love to everybody in Pickle Hollow, and I'll speak to you soon.
I will, and thanks for coming to our haunted house.
Oh, it's my pleasure. All right, bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
I think the Shy Yeti's marvelous. Oh, such a gentleman. And then there's the episode where Paul laid an egg. Yeah, he did. Look, it was a dragon.
583. 583.
Now that one was funny.
Ghosts.